Okay, my friends, we are live in heaven and on earth. Okay, so welcome everyone. It's very exciting because what else to spend than to spend time together trying to figure out what am I doing here? Why am I in this world? You know, because you are here for a specific reason, and the more we find out about our purpose in life, our personal mission, right? There's the general mission of the Jewish people to be a light unto the nations. And there's also the purpose, your own personal mission, where you have to find yourself, what's my specific goals, because you were basically designed and created in a certain way to fulfill that. So what's going to make you most fulfilled in life is basically the way Rabbi Ben Shetrit says so Rabbi in France, very philosophical, he says, your whole existence is about going from potential to reality. Your soul is your potential. The reality is here. The whole goal is to transform your potential into reality. That's why you're here. So you got to find out, what's my potential? Everyone has a different potential. That's why anybody who starts comparing their life to someone else is already doomed, because nobody has the same potential. We are all different. And the challenge and the sad part is that we constantly look at our level of who we're supposed to be based on what we see outside. What you see outside has nothing to do with you directly, meaning in the sense that it's nothing to do with who you can be, because everybody is different, everybody has a different mission, everybody has a different face, everybody has different unique gift that he's meant to give to the world. So it's very important to realize that you're unique and that nobody can be you. And if you're someone else, who is going to be you? So a lot of people try to be, I want to be, this and that, and like him, like her, like, why don't you try to be like you? Okay. Actually, I think it's Israel Wasserman says that because the Rambam says everybody can be like Moshe Rabbeinu, tzaddik like Moshe Rabbeinu. Like, really, like Moshe Rabbeinu today, I can have Nibwa and be a tzaddik like him. No, so he say it means that everybody can achieve a level, meaning fulfill his full potential, and be therefore as great as Moshe Rabbeinu, in the sense to become your higher self. Just like Moshe Rabbeinu became Moshe, the higher self, he fulfilled his full potential. You can also fulfill your full potential, but not that you should be like Moshe Rabbeinu.
He just represents full potential.
That's right. The climax of what a human being can be in terms of his relationship with God. But again, no, we all will experience God in our own unique way, right? So it's all different. Anyway.
But did Abraham say, God said Abraham first?
Yes.
So why shouldn't he be like the first guy to
Why? Because there were stages, and actually it's a very good point. Why do we need us if we had Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Moshe, and all that? Like, what's so special? But the truth is, basically, imagine it's like you're filling up the cup. Oh, am I gonna? And we fill up the cup. So Abraham put that much in the cup, Yitzhak, Yaakov, and we're here. What's it called? Really, it's really cool, like the end of time. And we just have to add that to all the prayers, to all the mitzvahs, to all the good deeds that we do. We just have that to add to spill the whole thing. That's us. So the whole cup, even though we need all of them and they were great, they still need us to finish to speed up the cup and basically bring flowing blessing in the world. Yes.
Does it have to do with each generation, like the same about Noah?
Yes. And actually, it says when Adam Rishon lost his soul, right, which represents the soul of our humanity, then he was brought back with blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and so Noah brought the new world, and then you had Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, which is Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, the three levels of the soul that need to come back from Adam Arishon. Then he said Moshe was Chaya, and I think Moshiach is going to be Yechida, something like that. So the idea is, you were in the womb, right? And the Vinagan says, what were you taught in the womb? What did you say? You learned the whole Torah. You didn't learn just the whole Torah. You learned the whole Torah based on what Torah is meant for you. What Torah are you supposed to reveal? What Torah are you supposed to express? What are you coming in this world for? And then he made you forget, but not forget completely. He made you put it aside so that you access it. Meaning he put it like in the cloud, and now you have to download it because you have to achieve it on your own. This is who you are, really at your highest. This is who you can become. So I'll take that whole power away. You could be that as a gift, and then there's no point of living. There's no meaning. The whole meaning of life is to build your own self. So you have the higher self. You know, you have the higher what we call the Adam Kadmon, the original man, the original you. There's a picture of you in heaven, and we're gonna see it has to do with when you die. They ask you what's your name to see if you match the name in heaven. I would say Avram, Noach, Moshe. So they don't call you, and if you don't know what your name is because you didn't become yourself, the full self, you won't know. And then you have the beating of the grave. So it's a lot of fun. No, just kidding. No, the beating of the grave, where they have to kind of shake you and say, hey, you're not John Smith. You're not Dr. Joe. You are, Ilya ben Abraham. Joe ben Chaim, right? So we have to understand what our true name is, because that's in it is hidden our purpose. Thank you. Was that your purpose in life?
Part of it.
And before
You know what my name means? My name means to gather. Yosef, Asifa, Yosef,
Asifa,
Asher, which means happiness.
you guys can bring.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That is something.
We have a role model right here. I want to mention something from it's connected to some of the stuff here, but I heard it tonight that I thought it was beautiful. Rabbi Manis Friedman, is so real deep thinker. He says, you wake up in the morning and you ask yourself, what am I here for? What's my mission in life? And the only question you have to ask is, who does need me the most? That's what you have to ask. Who needs me the most in my life? And you look, sometimes it's the spouse, sometimes it's the children, sometimes it's your best friend, sometimes it's your family, sometimes it's the sick people. You'll be a doctor. Sometimes, depending on what your quality is, what you have to offer to the world, who needs the most, and what can I offer from the people who need me the most? So that's very important to a thought, and you ask yourself, make a list of people who need you the most right now in your life. Is it my parents? Is it my children? Is it my siblings? Is it my friends? Is it the world out there? If you're a therapist, maybe, it's people. If you're a marriage counselor, then couples. If you're a date coach, then it's date people, right? Make a list of people who need you the most. Now, so that was a beautiful way to put it. Okay, so here we have a chart. I put in the chat on the people on the Zoom. I put in the chat. I think tell me if you can see it. The mission chart is. No, you don't see it. Oh, maybe it was just share. Maybe. Oh, I don't know if I can.
We can send it to the group chat if you want.
Oh, I have to repost it. Sorry, what did you say? No. So I don't know if I can put pictures section in the chat. Maybe I can share. Let me see if I. let me see if you, let me put it there. Do you see it? Shoshana, are you able to see it?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you.
Oh. Okay. And this, I don't know if I can put two at a time, but we start with that. So you can still see me, or who cares? As long as my wife sees me in this life, that's all what counts. Okay. So we start with the mission chart. Basically, this is like the foundation to help you, build up your life. And there's always more to know about yourself, because if you're still here alive now, that means you didn't finish your mission. Technically, once you finish your mission, goodbye. Goodbye to this world, because that's it, you're done. But some people, don't worry. Sometimes Hashem keeps you here because you're needed by other people. Actually, I had a great advice once. I forgot who says that, but someone told me on Rosh Hashanah, the best thing you can come up with, and Yom Kippur, to be forgiven and to stay another year, make yourself needed in this world. Because if you're needed in this world, Hashem has to keep you. So guys, I hope you need me a lot. So I can stay.
I actually have a good story with that Moshel. That there was this guy that
loud so I can hear.
There was this guy that worked really, really hard to become very wealthy so that he could afford to go to this certain type of hotel. And after many, many years, he became that wealthy and he was able to stay at a certain hotel. And when he got to the hotel, he saw one of his friends from high school and he's like, what are you doing at this hotel? Like, I worked really hard to make a lot of money to stay at this hotel. How are you at this hotel? And he goes, me, I can stay at this hotel as much as I want. I'm very needed in this hotel. I could eat whatever I want. I could stay in any room. I'm the manager here. I get to do whatever I want. If you're a manager in Hashem's world, then he keeps you here. You get to stay here for free.
Okay. We're all made to be managers on God's world. No, that's very good. Thank you. So the first step is your name. We know the Zohar HaKodesh says that everybody is given its name from the parents, Beruach HaKodesh. Hopefully you have a Hebrew name. If you don't, we forgive you. You can choose one. If you want to choose a name, just speak to me before, because you want to choose something that has to do with your mission. Because once you have your name, everything can change. That's why we change people's name when they're sick, because it's a different life, it's a different mission. That's why you're saved, because you're become someone different, literally. Your personality can completely change because of the name. So the first thing is you write your name on the mission chart. No, your Hebrew name. So, and if you have an English name, it's also important. You don't want to, because it's part of how people call you. So, but write your Hebrew name first. So, the way you're called by the Torah, or when you're called Sarah bat Abraham, or Michael ben Abraham, Torah, right? So you have your name. Once you have your name, the first step is, okay, what is the meaning of my name? Michael, for example, I have two names, Michael Noach. Okay, so Michael has to do with Mi ke El, who is like God, is an expression. Mi kamocha ba'el is connected to that. Who is like God? That means that part of my who I am is an expression of sin, of constant exclamation, or how we say, praises of God's greatness, God's world, the beauty of the Torah, all that, everything that brings you to say, wow, this is life, this is the Torah, this is God. So that's part of who I am. That's one of the reasons I'm a teacher. I like to inspire people. Okay, and then Noach has to with Menucha, that because I'm a therapist and I'm a social worker and a coach, and I help a lot of individuals. I kind of bring menucha also to people, healing and to relax and to learn to be not as to remove the anxiety of life, if it's possible in this generation. But so that's my name. But your name might be, Yosef. Like say, you add thing. You're here to add, to bring people together. If your name is what? Ezra. Ezra is God. It's the helper, meaning this the Yehoshua, this Ezra. When my salvation comes. So it's also Ezra, part of your personality is definitely going to be someone who helps. Now, you're going to have a unique way because there's a lot of Ezra. There's only one Ezra like you. And sure, your wife agrees. Almost, you're, but yeah, that's what he showed you. Okay, but Ezra, Ben, you have two names or one name?
Abraham.
Ezra, Abraham.
Oh.
It changes everything. Ezra and Abraham, because Abraham is Ammon, right? The father of multitudes of people. You have
Put it this way, you love camping, it's fine.
Ammon. So the idea is you have to put the meaning of your name and figure out how it corresponds to you.
My
Yes.
name is means hidden.
Hmm.
What? I'm supposed to go in a cave.
Well, why are you so revealed then? Right in front of me.
That's my question. My personality is the opposite of hidden.
Okay, no, so but you have to see, maybe your personality hides something, or maybe you're supposed to hidden. Is Esther your name? So funny because just as you say that, there was someone who came Esther, someone. So it was are you really? She came hidden into the. No, so so one of the things is the meaning of your name, but the second thing is who had that name in history, and what type of people were they? You're gonna find similarities with them. You're gonna have qualities that those people had that you have, because at the root, the same letters, right? The letters in Hebrew are vibrations, frequencies, a certain energy. If you have those letters from the name, that means you have those vibrations and frequencies in you. Okay, so after it manifests a different way because then each one has its own way to play the music, right? We can all have the same guitar, but the way type of chords you play so it's going to bring a different music. So we have to think of us all in an orchestra, and each one of us is a different instrument. And sometimes two people are Abraham because there's two violinists, but the way he's going to use his violin, the way you're going to use your violin, very different, So otherwise you wouldn't have the two cellos. The two cellos. Yeah, also, I don't know. No, I'm learning cello now, so it's it's what?
How's that going?
It's going.
Do you Google cello teachers?
Yeah, no, on YouTube. Yeah, I'm learning from YouTube. Yeah, I'm learning from the two cellos. I see how they play. I try to do the same thing.
You're known as a cellist rabbi right now.
Cellist rabbi, exactly. Okay. That's cool. I never had that one. Okay, so maybe he was created to give creative names. Okay, so number one, the meaning of your name. Then check which people in history. Oh, yeah, I'll give you. Everybody gets one. It's basically the chart on how to make your mission in life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, man. No coincidence.
You'll find out everything tonight, my friend. So
He got here, brother. He really. We just met him for a second.
it's
So
it's definitely all from God.
Bit of documentation, you'll get NFT in the mail.
Okay. Okay, so we saw the meaning. So the meaning has to do with your mission. Then the people that in history find out, learn about them. Who were they? Also, I have a book home. Well, someone borrowed it from me, but it's called "What's in a Name." It's Robin Bright Glaserson. Find out their deeper meaning, Kabbalistic meaning, also of the name. Let's say if your name is what?
Ezra.
No, I'm trying to think of Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to find a connection with it. Okay, it's let's say your name is connected to. I'm trying to find the same gematria. Okay, I forgot. But sometimes you name. Let's say your name is Moshe. Moshe is 345, right? Okay, doesn't fit. But no, I know someone else has the same name as Esav, and basically because they have the same gematria or the same letters. What? Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's just I forgot. I have to think about it. Basically, you will be the force able to fight that force. So let's say your name is Moshiach. Let's say, I know actually I have a friend, Rabbi Moshiach Lawrence. Rabbi Lawrence. His name is Moshiach. So Moshiach is the same gematria as Nachash, because the Moshiach is the one who is gonna be able to destroy Nachash. So if your name is Moshiach, you have to learn some Kung Fu or Jiu-Jitsu or Krav Maga in order to defeat the Nachash. You have to learn how to fight, how to defeat that energy called Nachash. Anyway, just an example.
Figure something out.
What?
I just figured something out.
Great.
Yeah.
It's by the way that right now if you open your mind. If you open your mind and you open your chakras or spheros or whatever you want to call it,
Get this on camera. I figured
you're gonna see the beams of light carrying ore coming from the area. No, it's important.
It doesn't blow my mind.
So I just bought giant cards on Amazon. I always like cards, I like magic. You know why? Because my gematria is 52. That's the amount of cards there are. It has to be real.
Yeah, that's very possible. Okay. Okay. Now, next step in filling your chart. Okay, so you wrote the meaning of your name. You wrote your name in Hebrew. Then now the next step is.
What is our gematria have to do?
So that's after. Once again, then it's the Torah verse. As you know, before when you die, they're gonna ask you what's your name, because you need to be able to enter up, and if you say I'm Dr. Zeus, it's not gonna work, because Zeus is I don't have, okay, anyway, but I'm trying to put like some French jokes, but it doesn't always work. But you need to say the name for which you were chosen to be created for, so to fulfill your mission. So how do we do it? Before at the end of Shmoneh Esrei, before we finish prayer, we say the verses in the Torah that correspond to your name. The reason we say that is to remember what verse corresponds to your name. So now there's two important things. So do you all know the verse corresponding to your name? Right? Because on the chart, for people who don't have it, I'm gonna add it, put it now in the screen.
How do we find it?
Is it the one you say in the last bracha?
Yeah, just before you step back. Where is the? Oh. Stop share. Okay. Let me put now a next. I'll share now another one. Which one is it here? Okay, for those who anybody who doesn't know their verse. Okay, so what?
Can you help us fill it out? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
like the superhero. Where did I get that one?
So here you check. It tells you
That I know, right?
Torah verse.
It tells you in the bottom where it is in Tanakh. Okay. You check the first letter and the last letter of your first name. The first and last letter of your name. You're.
You're the funniest person I've ever seen.
That's Ashah,
And on the bottom, he's gonna say where he's from. You have this. Number at the end. What?
Very good.
I love the rice. Big sushi.
Oh, it's not. I don't know. Oh.
Cucumber.
Okay. No.
No, it's the raw tuna.
Oh, it's not the whole
It's
thing?
like the raw fish.
Oh, okay. So I'm missing half. That's only the first half. So I'm sorry, but you can find it in any ArtScroll Siddur. Any ArtScroll Siddur, you will find the Pasuk. in the back.
Russell.
Is page 1041 in the Outscroll Siddur, I believe. Or it might be the Sfardi Siddur, okay. But in any Outscroll Siddur, actually at the end of Shemona Esrei is going to tell you the page to which all the verses are connected to your name. What? It's missing the second half. No, it goes to, yeah, it starts at Chav. I didn't realize. You don't have an Siddur here? No. Okay.
I'll send a picture into the group chat.
Okay, in the group chat you said. Okay, so once you figure out your name, you figure out, okay, where it is in Tanakh, right? So you take Tanakh and you look at it in Hebrew, and in Hebrew and in English, obviously. Okay, and you look at what's the meaning of that verse, because that verse corresponds to your name. Meaning, in that verse, you're gonna have the secret or the mission connected to your verse.
The first place where
To your name.
The pasuk that's in the art school siddur, we should look up where it is.
You have to study that pasuk, because that pasuk is all the explanation that has to do with your name, right? So you study that, and you're gonna find incredible things.
We can say again, we'll give you.
You have a pasuk corresponding to your name, right?
Like,
Let's say my name is Michael, right? So my pasuk is Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkanotecha Israel. It starts with Mem and it's finished with Lamed. Michael.
Oh, that whole thing is an acronym. Or it's a...
Yeah.
No,
The first and last letter.
Oh, it's
First and last letter.
Oh, the back of the art school.
Right. Okay.
There's only one there. There's only one for you, right?
No, sometimes there's one main, but you can have
Wait,
more also. So that's only half of it.
What is
Oh,
Eila
yeah.
Baracha Vela Basusim?
What?
So Eila Baracha Vela
Why don't you
Basusim.
find
Yeah.
What is that?
That's on
Or what?
Tehillim. That means they go after the chariot. They go with. They rely on their horses.
What?
אנחנו בשם Hashem נזכיר. But we rely on Hashem. We rely on Hashem. We call Hashem. So it's about who do you rely on? Do you rely on the world outside or what's hidden? Ooh, another hint. No, it's very important. All those things, because this is as if to say this is the verse that corresponds to you. This is the verse you have to study with all the commentaries, Rashi, Rambam, all the Mefarshim, or Chaim, Shai Kadosh, Arizal. Okay, Baal Shem Tov. Okay, so that's study your pasuk. Now, if you have two names, you can have two psukim, because so it adds up to your mission, makes your mission more complicated. No, not more complicated, but more. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, your name's not on there.
Okay.
Missing right.
Yeah, well, I would put. I'm sorry. I should have put it. Okay. Next, the next is the gematria. What's gematria? Gematria is the numerical value. We know every letter has a number. Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, Gimel is 3, right? Yud is 10, Chaf is 20. So you can check online on gematria chart.
102.
So you calculate your gematria of your name. Everybody knows how to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you calculate the gematria of your name, your numerical value of your name is going to correspond to a numerical value of psukim or words in Tanakh. What? Oh, so well, what's your name? Shmuel. You have to fill it up, guys.
Basically, you
Oh,
take,
wait, you don't have the other one? Sorry, you don't have the first one?
what?
Yeah, that's for me.
Oh, it's 30.
So, Shmuel, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, Shmuel Shin is 300.
What's pesos fees? What's pesos fees?
So,
Oh.
Shmuel, okay, Shin is 300.
No, 80. I am a 7. What's 57 and 7?
Sorry.
Hashem, more
Okay. So, Shin is 300. Mem is 40. No, I think it's Ein. No?
I have no idea, honestly.
Shmuel, who has name Shmuel? Who is called Shmuel here?
Yes.
Huh? Who?
Your name?
Okay, it's Ein. No, it's Ein because it's from Shema, to listen. But and then Ein, Vav, and Lamed. So 40, then 70 is Ein. What?
I thought it was.
Are you sure?
This month, right?
Almost sure.
Oh, it's me. I completely Ishmael.
Shmuel is the same name as.
That's just my mistake.
I remember it being an olive.
I just have to look in Sefer Shmuel.
I remember it being an olive.
Yeah, you might be right.
30.
There you go.
No, 20 plus 30 plus whatever.
Shmuel. Yeah, Aleph. It was my mistake.
So I spelled it
So yeah, it was my mistake. So Aleph, Vav Aleph. It's Vav Aleph. So Vav Aleph Lamed.
Oh my gosh. Is it hard to see the?
Ah, Shemo El. Okay, for Shemo. I was trying to think that Shemo. His name is God. That's what the meaning of Shmuel. Okay, so that's you have to put the meaning is his name is God. So the total is 300. So you have Vav is 6 and Lamed is 30. So you put everything together.
We use added.
So this is Aleph. So that's 1.
Right.
Okay, so you add it up together. Okay. So once you know the gematria of your name, you look for the words that correspond to the same value as your name.
It's a word or like a puzzle?
It can be a pasuk, it can be a name, it can be a pasuk, it can be a name, it can be
They get like a computer programmer who like
They have.
scans the program.
They have that. Yeah, they have that. I mean, I have a book home that has the whole Tanakh and every word in the Tanakh with that gematria. Yeah, just for that. It's called gematria.
Are they able to like make a program that like?
They have that program already. Yeah, in Sfat they have a place. You can go online. Guys, if you all speak together, then they can't. It's very hard. I know it's exciting, but
Do you know the program name?
no, I don't know it by heart. But I'll look Sfat gematria. Another revelation. Live.
This AI chatbot, I asked it Hebrew words that have the gematria 52 and it listed all of them. It's Elon Musk's AI chat thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now I know.
Okay, so you can use that too. Okay, show her the thing. Well, what's it called? That's so I can tell them on the thing.
Well, you have to leave the focus.
Oh, it's the whole thing. Okay, but there are these programs. If you don't know, if you're looking for the name. Yeah.
Can you do mine?
I'll share.
Them together. Okay, so that would be another hint about what your name is or your mission is based on the gematria of your name. If the gematria, let's say is Av. No, that's not going to be good. 248. Abraham is 248, right? So if 248, you know that you're going to have to focus in your life. One of your strengths will be 248 positive commandments, where that's a little bit the broad and general. Of course, you want to go try to the things that apply to everyone, but there are going to be many other words of psukim with that gematria. So if you want, I can help you do that. And otherwise, I know in Sfat they have people who help you with that part, with the gematria of your name and your mission. Okay, now next on the list is your superhero name. If knowing who you are, knowing or what, like Manis Friedman was saying, there are people who need you. What it is that you can give best. If you could be a superhero, what would be your superhero name, right? So, I can be called super doctor because I want to be a doctor. I want to be Mr. Healer or whatever. So what it is that you would like to have as a superhero name if you could be anyone?
But what's
Yeah,
the-
you're supposed to
what's
write your superhero name. No, it's for yourself. What?
What's the question again?
The question is, if you could choose a superhero name, defining who you are at your greatest. You know, imagine one day you are the best of who you could ever be in life. You know. No, but it can be, you can borrow it from superheroes, but it has to be realistic. You can be, I'm the light of Kabbalah. So because you want to share Kabbalah to people and you want to be like inspiring people each time they see you, right? What it is that you want to give the world and what you want to be called. You want to be called Batman, Superman? You want to be connected to the bats? Or you want to connect to something, the musical maestro or something like that. Something that, or the heartbeat resuscitator. It's English? Resuscitator. Yeah, what he said. Because when you put your music, people feel like they are experiencing reincarnation, resuscitation from death because of the music you put in their heart. Do you want to be that? Well, you can be greater. So don't stop at that. Okay, maybe try to imagine a superhero name. You understand why? Do you think it's a coincidence that there's such a thing as superhero in this world? Who invented superheroes? Why do we have to even invent superheroes? Why is there the concept of superheroes? Why do we have movies of superheroes? You think it's all coincidence? No, it's all for us to learn the lesson, to feel inspired, to understand that we can be just like that little kid who look at superheroes. Wow, I want to be like him. Well, that's how we look at it when we're kids. But then you can become it. You know that they're actually a real life superhero here in America, meaning they dress with a super. If you look on YouTube or whatever, you see what vigilantes, what? No, they're not like that. Superheroes with like Batman superheroes, like Batman superheroes. They put a spray or whatever, but they go out. I think it was in Chicago, if I remember. There was a guy, he has a suit and he goes help people that struggle. Sometimes it's to help an old lady cross the street, but sometimes it's to, if there's a fight, you try to stop it or stuff like that. Now, that should be the Jewish job, because we're here to bring peace and, divine justice to the world. But we try to do it by being a role model on how to behave. Okay, so try to write your superhero name. If you're not sure, you can borrow someone else's name, like Rabbi G or something. No, just kidding. But you can borrow what's Aquaman? No, if you love water and you want to save the fish and the whales. What? I definitely see you as a mermaid now. But Aquaman, you want to be the Aquaman because you want to be someone who is going to save the fish of the world. Okay, if that's your, what you think. Okay. Yeah, but if you're vegan, you're screwed. Okay. So, okay, now next step is your tribe. So, I'm white. No, I was gonna say like no, I was gonna imitate the tribe by Native Americans. So if you're a Cohen or a Levi, or if you know from which tribe you are, do you know which tribe you are from? You what? What? Convert? I can't hear. Oh, Cohen. Okay, so you're from Cohen. So, guys, you're live. People hear you. So the idea is that if you're Cohen or Levi, it's a bit easier. Mamlechet Kohanim, right? You're Cohen, you have a special uniqueness of giving blessing. That's you're a transmitter of energy from heaven. And yeah, if you're a Levi, you're meant to be. I'm a Levi, so I play music. I inspire people through music, or they're supposed to be teachers also. So I teach Torah because of that too. Well, actually, I just happened to find later on that I was a Levi after I started.
You didn't know you were Levi?
No, not. I mean, I knew later on. I had no idea of the meaning of it. I knew I was a Levi, but guys, I had no idea that I Levim were all about teaching and Torah or guarding the Beis Hamikdash, or that's why I started learning Krav Maga, and singers. So now I know, or carrying the things in the desert, but that was mostly in the desert, or to help the Kohanim. So he's my friend here, Kohen. So I help him. I wash his hands, take care of him. Little massage before the bracha. It's good. Okay. So. If you know from which tribe you are, if you're from Dan, Menashe, there are people in Africa. They know they're direct descent from the tribe of Dan. The black Jews, the real authentic black Jews.
It's like the Kimbo tribe or.
Right. Yeah. There's the Temani, right? Another group of black Jews, and then there's also Chinese Jews or Jews from South America. They know they're from the tribe of Menashe. And then they're making aliyah, and they convert, and just lechumrat, just to because of the loss they don't have always their family chart. But you have to know that currently there's thousands and thousands of people who know which tribe they are from, and people have no idea about them, and they're coming little by little to Israel. Their dream is to come to Israel. They kept Brit Milah or old Sefer Torah or like stuff for generation, and they moved to Israel. Who? Rudy, yeah. So I follow him, and it's going to be very powerful when we see. We have a tendency, us in America, or even from Jews, to think of the Jew as the all typical Ashkenaz or Sephardi guy, so white, or dark, and those are the
real Jews are Persian.
Exactly. And really, when we're gonna go to the Kota, when Moshe is gonna come, you're gonna have like the rainbow of Jews, like from red to black to white to. No, I didn't mean that, but I mean that we have the Chinese Jews, black Jews. I actually spend time online checking all the different types of Jews that are, where we have pictures from. It's crazy. It's basically every nation. And by the way, that's hidden. The Arizal says that the reason why we have 70 nations, 70 Jews going down to Egypt, right? Go down, right? So it's because there were 70 nations, that each one of the 70 Jewish soul correspond to the 70 nations, because we are the microcosm of the entire world as Jews. It's like you have the heart, right? And the heart gives life to the entire body. So we're connected to the entire body, and we are dependent on each other. So in a way, it's as if to say that that's why the Sanhedrin has to learn 70 languages. That's why the Torah was translated in 70 languages. That's why we bring 70 bulls on Sukkot. And the idea is that we are here to impact the 70 nations. We are here to infuse the 70 nations with goodness, with light. Okay, next is your zodiac sign. Now, if you don't know which tribe you are from, you have to put a question mark and wait till Moshe comes and you'll ask him. He'll tell you. Now, with zodiac sign, yes, the zodiac is a Jewish thing, and it was taken from the Jews, so to speak, and used to know the future in a way that are not permitted. The zodiac system works, but it says Ein Mazal Israel, meaning that we are able to go beyond the influence of the Mazal. But you are every day influenced by the Mazalot, meaning what's responsible for the tornadoes and all the weather and everything that's happening on Earth are those things. Why do you have the water going up in the sea? It's because of the moon. Based on how the moon is, it brings the water level of the sea up and down. So we know the world is affected by that. But we have the ability to withstand those well, sometimes it goes as temptation or feelings that people have. Or there's one day we feel people are all angry, or people are all stressed, or all depressed or lusty. Every day has different thing, but you can withstand that because since your soul is connected to Hashem directly, you will not. You and the nations are connected to the angels corresponding, the 70 angels, the Sar of each nation. That's why, by the way, in this week's parsha, where Yaakov was fighting the Sar of Esav, right? And Malach of Esav, which correspond to the nation of Esav. So we were able to defeat him. So we are technically able to defeat that. So part of that, the way the kosher astrology is, or kosher zodiac signs is, but it's a good book. It's called Above the Zodiac. It's a good way to start. It doesn't have everything, but it's a good way to start to get an idea. Above the Zodiac gives you each month. This is Rabbi Mattisyahu Gleason. He has a lot of books on Gematria. He has about, I don't know, 40 books or 50 books published. And for each month, he tells you, okay, this is the letter of Hebrew connected to that month. This is the tribe connected to the month, because there's 12 tribes, tribe Mazalot. And this is the strength that you have during this month, and this is the weaknesses you're gonna have during this month. So it's gonna reveal, just like this teaching astrology, is gonna reveal to you your strength and weaknesses, your tendencies. You can overcome all of those because in Mazal Israel, you're able to work on that. But through the Jewish zodiac signs, you can learn about your character traits, the challenges that you're going to be confronted with, and how to overcome them, and also your mission. It's all, again, here it's like a puzzle of your own mission. Each piece is going to give you another indication of who I am in potential and who I can become and what I can accomplish.
So can we go over the zodiac signs of what we all are?
Oh, yes. Okay.
We don't know that.
No, are they the same
So,
as the non-Jewish ones?
I forgot to thank you for asking.
Look, it's just
We're
two
connected to the date of birth. Okay, the zodiac sign of your day of birth, but the Jewish and non-Jewish calendar are both relevant. That's why, because because it has to do with the sun and the moon, and it's not just the month. If you go to a real Jewish expert in astronomy, by the way, the Ibn Ezra and the Vilna Gaon all said you should know astronomy and all how that works in order to become a.
These aren't tarot cards, are they?
No, not tarot card. No.
Those are-
Yeah.
those are-
No, you're not supposed to use that.
Tarot cards are what?
Tarot cards?
Tarot cards.
I don't know, but it's not our tradition to use it. I know people use it, but usually they use it for the future, and that's not supposed to use for the future. It's I never saw Mekubal using tarot cards. Let's put it that way. So if okay, the it's not only just the month on which you're born, it's also the hour and the day in which you're born. The Gemara says if you're born on a Tuesday, you're connected to Mars, right? Because Wednesday is Jupiter. Jupiter is connected to the nation of Israel, right? It's a very good planet. Yes, you're very lucky.
What if your Hebrew birthday and your English birthday are like two different zodiacs?
Yeah. So that's why you have the ascendant. But,
Are you using it?
what? No, so you check. Okay, Nissan. If you're born in Nissan, you're Aries, ER, you're Taurus, Sivan, Gemini, Tammuz, Cancer. Okay, that's the Jewish guys. If you speak, nobody can hear. There's something created by God called whispering. If you whisper, you're able to talk without bothering other people. It's a very wise thing to use. Okay, it's proven by science that it's possible. Okay, even in our ADHD age today. Okay, so then Av is Leo, Elul, Virgo, Virgin, Tishrei, Libra, Cheshvan, Scorpio, Kislev is Sagittarius, Tevet is Capricorn, Shevat is Aquarius, Adar is Fishes, Spicy. Fishy. Very fishy. Fish. What? Yeah. No, it's just because it's the English translation. So the tarot card, by the way, is based on that.
And what about Tammuz? Tammuz?
Okay, Tammuz is Cancer. Crab.
Cancer, what does that mean?
Crab. The crab.
Cancer, I'm a Cancer.
Aquarius. Maybe you're meant to be Aquaman. I don't know. No. Well, we cannot go on each one, but you can get that book. Each one has unique tendencies. If you learn, you ask someone that when they were born, you can literally will know their personality. Meaning, it doesn't mean that that person has to be that personality, because you can overcome it, right? That's Ein Mazal Israel. But you're gonna have the typical tendencies of some people, for example. They're not good with athletic. Their body is not made for athletic. It's not meant for them, and that's okay, because that some people they're born athletic, like they're gonna go out of the womb and be on one leg already. That's for right, and then you have those who will can train to become athletic, and that works. Okay, no personal. Teasing. Okay, so that's the next one. Okay, now, so it's just that it's there, make you research what sign you are according to the Jewish zodiac, and then you have your bar and bat mitzvah parsha. When you were born, your parsha has to do with you, meaning whatever is in this parsha. You understand, the Vina Gaon says that absolutely everything that happens in the world is all in Torah, and that every generation, everything repeats itself, meaning that today there is an Adam, there is a Chava, there is a Nachash, there is a Mitzrayim, there is a Moshe, there is all those, this Abraham, Yitzhak, they're all here today in different shape and form. You said you're hidden? So, yes.
So my issue with my garments apart is that everything like comes out every like 3-4 years.
What does that mean?
He's only 6.
It's a leap year situation. So my garments apart is for Shas.
Oh.
So it's for Parshas Kodesh for other.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So when's your bar mitzvah?
I never had one.
That's the next part.
Are you serious?
They don't believe in something and.
You never had one?
Yeah, of course I don't.
No. It's Jewish jokes. Jewish jokes. We know he's Jewish. We made those Jewish jokes. Anyway, so what's your bar or bat mitzvah parsha? So I was saying the Vina Gaon says that basically everything happens. Everything happens every year and happens every day. In a small, why every day you speak about Yitzhak Mitzrayim when you say Shema? Why every day you have to say the same thing again? Because everything happens again, and you have every day another opportunity to fulfill your mission. Understand? It's like anybody saw Groundhog Day? Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Right? Basically, it's a guy who wakes every morning at the same time.
It's basically a movie with the guy from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a repetitive situation. Like it's like. I guess. Yeah.
Right. There's a few movies like that. They made 2-3 movies the same, and every day really is an opportunity to do what you didn't do yesterday. Right. So you try again. No, Lashon Hara. No Lashon Hara. Okay. So. That's for your bar bat mitzvah parsha. You will have in the parsha on which you're born indication about your life, because everything that happens. Why do we read the parsha during the week? Right? We read on Monday and Thursday. We read during the week. Why we read on the Shabbat that is coming? Because that whole week is connected to that parsha. Everything that happens during that week, technically, is the question you have, the challenge you have. Technically, that parsha is supposed to give you the answer and what you need to deal with it. You're gonna see people who are synchronized in learning. They always learn. They have a seder, daily seder. Usually, I'm sure India can testify to that for Daf Yomi. When you learn every day, usually that day or that week, you're gonna have something from the Daf Yomi that tells you. Right. Anybody who learns. Anybody learns a seder or Daf Yomi or something like that, they will testify to that. It's very powerful.
Your parsha from your about Islam, is
Yeah.
it different from like the parsha we're born?
No, it's sometimes it's almost it's changed because that will be 13 years. You right.
It's usually 99% is the same.
Most of the time, but not always. Not always.
No, like you're born, it's on that parsha, that's the same almost.
Doesn't
If I no, you know, but
So which one matters more?
That's when
No,
you English and Hebrew date.
it's by the date. Yeah, sometimes the leap year this changes,
So which
but
one matters more?
not when you're born. When you're born. Yeah, because you means you're born on that parsha. Okay, next is. Okay. Birthday. What happened in history on your birthday? Find out if there were great tzaddikim who died on you on that birthday in their Hebrew date, or English in the same day of your birth. What? Their website with all the your site. You see who died on Chav Aleph Kislev. That's for me. Chav Aleph Kislev. What?
The Rebbe died the day before I was born.
Nice.
Okay.
That
That might be a connection, but you don't look so about it. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying try to find the day itself. Because there's somebody who die every day of the year, but the day itself usually has a connection.
No way. No way.
After.
Yeah.
That's a movie. No. What? Nebuchadnezzar, you? Mazel No, but that's a good sign. That means you have the power to defeat him. That you have the power to defeat him. Okay. Okay. Well, now we're going to the second. Yeah. So what happened? You say on your birthday? That might be an indication also of who you are. I'm gonna. Right now, you cannot see the second chart, right? That I have to put it. I have to share screen if I want you to see the. Okay. So let me. Well, what happened? I'm gonna share the second part of the. How do we do that? Like before. Okay. Share photo, and the second one is this one, I think. Yeah. Okay. So now your elements. We are all made of 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth, or dust, right? Every zodiac sign basically has a different element, and therefore every month has a different element. We are all made of those 4 elements, but there's one that is dominant in you. So, so I'm going to read one time for those who wants to write it down. Okay, if the fire sign, guys, thank you. The fire sign is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay, it doesn't help. Then the air sign is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It's interesting, right? Aquarius because that is air. Even though it's Aquarius, like water, air.
Aries or air? Aquarius is air.
No, Aries is fire. Aquarius is air. What? You think so? Once you understand Aquarius, you know what. What?
What is this? What is this like rising sign and moon sign? Is that anything or that's not?
What's sure?
No, that's part of it. That's on the day of your birth.
Oh, day and time and all that.
Right, there and by the minutes. The more you know exactly when you're born, the more you can.
I know exactly.
Good.
I know the rising.
Excellent. So that's you can find out your mission about it.
I can find my mission easier.
Yeah, absolutely. You know your characteristic, your traits, natural traits, and the good and the negative one. Then water signs is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces.
Ooh.
Water,
Which one? Cancer.
very moody. But it's good, you know. Emotions is passionately emotional, empathetic, deep feelings, self.
What's the air?
What?
What's the air characteristics?
Oh, air is mental. You recognize this
Got
already?
that one right.
Mental, social, analytical, fluctuating, need to share their thoughts to the world. Writers, teachers, philosophers, intellectually stimulating.
That's
Again,
me.
yeah, no, even that's air. Fire. That's okay. Fire is inspirational, confident, takes control, enthusiastic, action, fun, excitement, explorers, trailblazers. I love to be fire.
What are you?
What?
Which one is Cancer?
Cancer is
Emotional,
air.
meaning-
No, sorry.
Water.
Cancer is water. Water, that's the first one I said. Intuitive, very artistic, psychic.
Autistic.
No, artist. No. Again, it's not all of them. You will have some. So I'll tell you all of them, and you see which one is connected most to you. Intuitive, very artistic, psychic sponges, nerd. Psychic sponges, meaning you're naturally nurturers, empathetic, passionately emotional, deep feelings, self-protective, addictive personalities, very private.
Not very private, but they're.
That's out of the water.
What?
Out of the water.
But sometimes we hide our certain truths to ourselves. Yeah, it can be very addicted to. It can be you're very consistent. Once you start something, you keep doing it, whether it's good or bad. It can be good or bad.
So committed.
It can be committed, but I'm committed to. Okay.
You have to find like good things.
Okay, Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And Earth, and by the way, it corresponds to the element.
You
Each
send
one.
this into the group chat?
What?
You send this into the
Yeah.
group chat?
Yeah.
What book is that?
Yeah.
Book Above the Zodiac. What is that? Anyone that knows,
Above the Zodiac is from Rabbi Matthew. It's a good start. It's not. It doesn't have everything, but it's a good start to. Okay, Earth. Anybody who is Earth is connected to being physical, practical, the rocks. I don't know what I mean. The stable,
Centered.
live in the here and now. So grounded, basically. Goal-oriented, very patient. Work hard for success. One step at a time. Sometimes rigid and materialistic. Okay. Yes. No, so we have all four elements, but there's one that is dominant. This one is dominant always.
A person in all sciences, we're the last sign in the zodiac. We're the lizards.
What?
Pisces are the streets of all signs because we're the last signs in the zodiac.
Okay, so
Something a Pisces would say.
that's the curse of the Pisces. No, just kidding. Yeah, but that's true. But you're able to take a bit of everything also. That's like the 13th month. It takes everything together. Echad, makes things one. Especially if you're born on a leap year. Oh, wow. Let's go. Okay.
Aquarius is like the most cold and like
What?
Aquarius is like the most cold.
Yeah. It's all connected to that. All connected to that. All connected. Now, remember that those four things has to do with the four times of the year. Summer is fire, air is fall, water is winter, and earth is spring, right? So understanding that there are going to be moments of the year where you feel, some people, they hate winter. Some people, they love summer. I can be like I was going to say guacamole, like a iguana, like by the sun. I can stay like an iguana by the sun like that, and I love it.
What do you call it?
I'm fired.
Guacamole?
Guacamole.
Guacamole?
Right.
Yeah.
Guacamole.
Is it fire?
What?
Is it fire?
I'm a fire. Yeah,
No, is that a fire characteristic?
it's one of
Rabbi,
fire.
next thing's up.
Soak up in sun?
Rabbi, next thing's
I
up.
love fire. But since I'm a kid, I play with fire always. Put things on fire. It's connected to the personality. Yes. No. So again, there are different aspects of fire. It might be the light, it might be the heat, it might be the burning. Maybe you like just to burn everything. No, okay. I don't know. Meaning burn not literally in the physical, but like you want to destroy something. If it's not working, I want to destroy it. For example, I don't want to go back to it like
What about
right.
Earth?
For example, what?
What's the Earth characteristic?
The earth. Well, that's what we said before. Physical, practical, and all that. So anyway, you can find those are pretty standard. If you want to find the Jewish one, the best is to go. There's a book called Getting to Know Your Soul, and in there it describes all 4 elements. It's by Rabbi Itamar Schwartz. It's in English and Hebrew, and he describes the 4 elements and how to balance those elements, because we have those 4 elements in us, and those elements are they correspond to 4 parts of your body also. Yud K Vav K, they correspond to the 4 letters of Hashem's name. So there's a lot to it, but let's not go too deep. We'll try to finish that the chart before we all fall asleep. Okay.
Each letter is a different element.
Yes.
You know which one?
Yud is fire. Hey is air. Vav is water, and Hey is earth.
Uh-huh.
So it has to do. So it tells you
Matter
also.
than 2 different hays, like it's the same
Yeah.
hay.
Well, they're very connected, but they're
Earth
two
and
different.
air?
Yeah.
They're not supposed to get along.
No. Everything's supposed to go on. It's like saying men and women are not supposed to go along. No, they're supposed to go along, but it's the same soul. But you see how all the women, they connect much more better together, and all men connect. Most men connect good together, as opposed to men and women who fight all the time. Okay, but it's the same, but still very different.
Actually,
Anyway,
the signs when it comes to men and women sometimes together.
Right. But well, in the sign, in terms of the sign and finding your match compatibility, it's true that there's harder match, but it's not true that you can marry any sign. Don't, Ein Mazal Yisrael again. You can marry any sign if it's your soulmate. Doesn't matter what sign it is. However, some signs are more challenging. Now, let's remember that the more opposite you are, the more powerful, the more challenging your marriage is, the more it's not a sign that it's not your soulmate. On the contrary, it means usually that, well, or you're not bad. You have a lot to work on and she's pushing you as a kenegdo, or she's just here to, to help you grow and become the greatest you can be. And so she's pushing you like a coach pushing, like David Goggins style. Do 10 push-ups now. Okay.
They were like, a Kabbalist once told me like a name of a certain person I'm supposed to marry. Should I listen to that?
No, don't.
They charge you for
Well,
that?
let me ask you a question. Did this Kabbalist ask you for money?
No.
A donation?
A donation, but like not money.
What do you want for donation?
If they ask for
Said
donation,
things in my past that were true.
of course. I can also speak to demons and they tell me everything about you. I'm serious. I can speak to demons and has everything about you.
Rabbi, you're amazing. Put in the mason.
I'm not gonna do it.
So I
don't want to go to
So
hell.
I should disregard everything you said.
You don't need it. You
But
can
what if
choose.
it's true?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
That
what
can
it is.
interfere with your free choice.
Right, that's why I'm confused.
Because there's a system. You can override the system. You can be in the matrix or become Neo in the matrix and
Right, but
overcome.
it's going against what's supposed to happen.
No.
Told my friend that she's supposed to marry this guy, and then she got married to somebody else.
Right. No.
Yeah, but like, are they happy together?
No.
And they're married.
They-
and they have some kids,
there's
so
no
I guess
nature.
I'll
There-
say-
Guys.
I mean, I'm not in there.
There's
now.
Derech HaTeva, right? Derech HaTeva, which is the flow of nature. If you want, you can live your life and you're going to be that simple, nice, boring human being. But you do what you're supposed. Can you stop, please? Hello. Thank you. If you can be that boring, you can just do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be that nice, Esther, really hidden. Or you can be that incredible Esther because you transcend your entire life. You see, this is the difference. A non-Jew is not required to so to speak to be great. As a Jew, you're required to be great. That's why a Jew who is not great, he doesn't feel good about himself, because your soul has something more intense than a non-Jew, right? Because you're pushed to be a light into the world, a role model for others, and for that you need to aspire to greatness. If with great power comes great serenity. Okay, thank you, Shoshana, for joining. It was good to see you.
So like, no, because I'm just scared that I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be my soulmate if it's someone with a different name. It's just like weird.
Yeah, but it's weird because you're used to those things, but those things are dangerous because they limit you. And again, you have to understand that even if I speak to demons, even if I speak to angels, now all the people today who can speak to those entities, all the entities can make mistake. You can even make a mistake in a prophecy. So that means that they can see some of the truth and some of the things are going to be true, but a lot of it is mistake. It says every prophecy or every dream has some truth and not in it. So you have to never trust it 100%, never.
Just like forget about it and go on.
Yeah. Live your life based on you and God. You're in charge of everything. Otherwise, you're already limiting your powerful choice. And you're going, it's almost say, oh, the star says I should, I'm supposed to break up with my close friend next week.
Right, but like the stars are right.
No, they're right in the natural order of things, of nature.
Right, so it's easy.
But it's easy, but you don't. Yeah, but natural means you're acting like an animal. Why all the animals all of a sudden they go to the east during the at the beginning of winter? Because that's the cold is pushing them to go there. So you're gonna just be like an animal and follow the things of nature. You can be in harmony with nature, but you're not supposed to be an animal. You're supposed to go counter nature. Because if you go counter nature, you become super nature. You go above the nature, and you can become greater. You become spiritual. That's what it is. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Things like this, like imagine that our whole entire life or future is planned out. It's planned out. The second we start saying, like Ebola says, oh, you should marry a guy within the first name, let's say Jonathan, whatever. Let's say, for example, you're giving power to that prophecy, you're giving power to wherever that
self-fulfilling prophecy.
That Kabbalist part from, it might not even be a real Kabbalist, might not be, but it might even be like a bad prophecy, it might even be Kishuf. You don't even know.
Right,
We don't know the difference in Kabbalistic interpretations and Kishuf things. It's very.
Yes, no. My Rebbe, okay, he knew the greatest. He used to be very close to Rav Kaduri, to Rav whatever, all the great Mekubalim that existed. And he says in America, there's no. I mean, there might be some hidden Kabbalists, but there's no officially known real Kabbalists. The only real known Kabbalists are in Israel, and the one revealed nowadays is Rabbi Yaakov Hillel, and but the more they're revealed, the less power they have. The more hidden a Kabbalist is, the more power he has. If everybody says, oh, that guy is a Kabbalist, already it's dangerous. Because if it's so popular and known, there's something wrong with it. Kabbalist by definition is something here.
Rabbi Yaakov Hillel doesn't even like the practical Kabbalah. He doesn't.
Oh, but I'm not even really talking about practical Kabbalah. We're not allowed to touch
Real Kabbalists don't try to
You're all true, but it's a really nice phone girl's into you. You know there's something wrong with it.
Nice joke. No.
Real Kabbalist doesn't charge money for a deed like that.
No, a real Kabbalist will refuse completely any donation or money, because it's yeah.
What if it's like a donation for like a good cause, like a yeshiva?
It's too dangerous. I know it's nice, but you can do charity, but it's too dangerous, because when you're dealing with that type of information with spiritual, that has to do with something spiritual, if it's going to money, it's very dangerous. Whatever. That's trust me.
Can I argue the conversation for a second? if we're saying that it's so dangerous to accept money for this, why did Kohanim take presents and?
Okay, no, so that's a little bit different. This is because the Kohanim's entire life, and by the way, the living also, right? So, you know, their entire life was dedicated for the people, right? So they were so the only way for us to do the job we're to do is like almost, why do you give money for Torah? Torah is free. It's not giving money to Torah. You give money for so those people are able to have the time to teach Torah. Otherwise, they don't have time. There'll be no. So this is something with Kohanim and Levim, who were responsible for the greater, the Mishkan and the people. That's why. But otherwise, that's and usually we got food. We had the food for the korbanot or stuff like that. It was not always money. It was just practical thing. And we probably weren't rich, you know, in terms of. I mean, there's no problem being rich, but Kohen and Levi probably.
They had the normal land.
Right.
They didn't have the rich land.
Right. They had that. Okay. Next is. Okay. Let me go back to sharing. Okay. So now we continue. The next piece is. So in the elements, the fire, you have to learn the flows and the strength. The fire can heat you and warm you up, or it can destroy, right? Water it can be like a wall when you fall on it, or it can be very soft if you go slowly on it. Every element has its strength, and so use the book, Getting to Know Yourself at the beginning. It has the whole thing on the 4 elements. It is also Rabbi Chaim Vital in his book Sha'arei Kedusha speaks about those 4 elements and the group strength and weaknesses, and then you see how they correspond to you in which area. It's almost understand that it's about recognizing yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, okay, this is who I am. Now, Torah Pardes. Next step is, what's your favorite area of study? The area you like to learn the most, that you're the most interested, usually is an indication of where your soul is rooted. Some people, they love Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, right? It's like their soul is connected to this Shoresh, that's the rabbi says. The reason you like that rabbi and the way he talks, or the way he brings the word or teaches, and the reason it inspires you is because your neshama is connected to that rabbi or to that book, to the soul of that rabbi, okay? So I think it says that in Shevet Musar. I'm sorry, something like that. So let's say you love the Arizal. You read something with the Arizal, you love it. So your soul is, then you know part of your mission is to study the areas, not only we're studying everything, but you are going to have a unique share or connection to that area of study, and probably to share it and teach it. Also, that'll be the best place where you can teach. So some people, they love the Ramchal, some love Hasidus, some love Halacha, some love Gemara, some love Chumash. It's important to know what area, which book, and which rabbis. Okay, this favorite area of study. So Hashkafa, Halacha, Kabbalah, Hasidus. You find out what's your favorite area of study, your favorite books, right? It can be Mesilas Yesharim, it can be Le'Yoetz, it can be the Shulchan Aruch, it can be anything, the tractate of the Talmud, and then your favorite rabbis, right? So that's very important, because it's like you look at the part of your neshama in them, but they're really in you. It's like you're the continuation of those people, and you're continuing their light by connecting to it. You'll be the best one to share that light and continue that light. And so
I have one.
you have one? Good. So for me, I'm a big the Ramchal. The Ramchal for me is like, it's my main. So when I teach the Ramchal, I'm like,
Does it have to be like older, or could it be like?
It can be someone who is alive
Like
or
a
dead.
1950?
It can be it can be the Baal Shem Tov. It
One
can
of mine
be.
is Rabbi Victor Miller, and then like another one is like Rabbi Ruth.
You and then so that's very important. by the way, and the rabbi you choose, important also that you should try to do that will help you in your mission is to choose a rabbi in your lifetime, because whoever, and you should choose someone like high level, right? Like that especially that has really good midas. That's the most important, and that is knowledgeable, and that should be a role model that inspires you. But that rabbi is usually lift up your soul in Olam Haba. It says someone who chooses a rabbi, his soul is going to be next to that rabbi in Olam Haba. So you want to take someone like high caliber. So, well, yeah, it has to be someone that you feel understands you, that you can be able to follow and grow with that rabbi. Then you can be a rebbetzin also. Dreams. What are your dreams and why? Now, the dreams that I'm not speaking the dreams when you sleep, but it's important to understand what do you dream to be? Life dreams, right? It's important. What's the 2 or 3 biggest dream you have in your life? You know, it can be, I want to save the world. Okay, that's a good one. You know, it's a very Jewish one. but if you can be more specific, that's better. Some people will say, I want to save the puppies or the whales. Some say people, I want to save the children in Africa. Or some say, I want to save the Chinese from their concentration camp that they have now. Therefore, if you go to China, right, and you don't follow the government, right? So things like that. Or I want to what? I want to travel. Yeah, absolutely. I want to travel. I want to heal people. Whatever it is that you have as a dream, like a bucket list. Make a bucket list. Very important. Okay, now character traits. You have to write 5 top best character traits. 5 good character traits about you, and 5 hardest or bad character traits that you have. So they're not bad. They are the 5 weaknesses that you have. This I know comes right away somehow because we love to put ourselves down, right?
I was trying to do it, and it was so hard to like come up with things.
With the good ones.
With the good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to ask like my whole family. Like,
Yeah.
sit down for like a whole hour to discuss.
Isn't it sad how we're naturally as human beings so focused on what's wrong with us and so less because there's so many
It's so
vers top. Yeah, because we're
Can you help us?
we're so Jewish,
figure out which ones
we're
to
so
write down?
guilty. What?
Can you help us figure out which ones are the right ones to write down?
Yeah, but I don't know you. I mean, I know you, but you know, I don't know you.
Things that people in the past like pointed out probably.
But
Like,
yeah, you can ask people who knows you best. But again, good character traits can be I'm patient, I'm positive,
your
I'm
family's
spiritual,
really good at
I'm
pointing out that.
I'm consistent, I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm beautiful. It's also a quality.
How is being beautiful a quality?
Well, it's something that you have. When people see you, say, "Oh, you're so beautiful." So you inspire people. It's a quality that you have. It's not as much as a trait, right? It's not so much a trait. That's why it's more gift, but it's still part of your top. Some people they're gonna use their whole life is gonna be about beauty. If I become Miss America. Mr. America, sorry. If I become Mr. America, then my whole beauty is used to inspire people and to now. I think it's not shallow. It's a little bit shallow. It's a bit French, but I think there's much better good character traits or qualities. So I'm patient. I'm calm. I can sing. Whatever.
Yeah, but those are not characteristics.
No, character traits. It's qualities, the 5 top qualities, because those are going to become your weapons. Those are the strong indication of what you can do in the world. I have to know when I wake up in the morning or ask myself during the day, how can I help the world most with what I was given? You were given tools that nobody else were given exactly like you. And therefore, there's something you can give to the world that nobody else can give like you. Even if you have 1,000 nurses, the way you're gonna be a nurse is gonna be different at each one because there's something unique about the way you're gonna be treating people or healing people or yeah.
Doesn't your name also have an effect?
Oh, you came late.
I came late.
Yeah, you have to catch the first
What if we
page.
have like the same name?
Yeah. So
We have the same name here.
there's an indication of that you have something in common. I see you're both sitting. I'm just kidding.
They're both ear signs too.
Are we?
Guys, something that I did a long time ago.
You don't need a mirror. Just look at it.
He's a Gemini.
Sorry.
Something that I did a long time ago.
No
About like
time
5
ago.
years ago. I created this note called "Where I Am and Where I'm Going."
Oh,
I
yeah.
basically wrote down all my
It's a long
goals.
list.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All my
Yes, a lot of Yosef. It keeps adding.
And
What is?
part of this thing. Actually, one of my friends, Shane D. Mendelson, you remember Shane D, right?
Yeah.
She, I was working myself, and she said, instead of focusing on the things that you're not good at, write all the things that you are good at, and just improve on all those good things.
Right. That's the ideal. Asetov, and you won't even have to bother with Surmera. But most people, they do Surmera before they do Asetov, because that's the order of the Pasu. The Stipler says, if you find it very hard to do Surmera, do Asetov, and then naturally the Surmera will disappear by itself. But you have to be really involved. Okay, so 5 top best character traits, 5 worst character traits. Your 5 worst character traits, Chazal say the character trait that bother you the most, that you struggle the most, that's part of one of the main goals that you have to achieve, to be able to control that negative character trait. The Vina Gaon says the reason your whole existence is made to change your at least one character trait. And it takes sometimes an entire lifetime to change just one character trait. It's the hardest thing in the world is to change our character trait. And remember that the reason we do mitzvot, the reason we learn Torah and do mitzvot is to change our character traits. It's not just to be from. God doesn't need from people. He has a lot of them. It's called angels. We don't need from people. We want people who change who they are.
Not for people.
No. But the reason we do those mitzvahs is to learn from the mitzvahs how to change, how to become different. Otherwise, there's no point. You're doing mitzvahs like a robot, and you're still the same one 20 years later. If you go to yeshiva for 20 years and you're the same before when you enter and you go out, you wasted 20 years of your life. You don't get olam haba for that. You understand? People make a mistake. They think the more Torah, the more mitzvot, the greater olam haba. No, it doesn't work like that. It's the more you change, the more you grow, the more you transform, the more you go from potential to reality, the more you get olam haba. That's what it depends on. Okay, the Torah and the mitzvahs are the tools that can, if used properly, lishma, with love, with understanding, they will help you change. But if you don't change, absolutely, exactly, it's the best self-help book.
Are we allowed to use others also?
Other people?
Self-help books?
Yes, but you just, you
Like,
can.
what about non-Jewish ones?
You're allowed to use
Like,
their
we're not just
like,
Like sales books?
well,
To learn
you can,
sales?
everything is in the Torah, but you can sometimes the way it's expressed, you're allowed to use the chokhmah of the goyim for certain things, but you have to be very careful with self-help books and therapy and psychology because it doesn't include the soul in it. And it's a different approach. If you use the soul, as Rabbi Itamar Schwartz in his book, Getting to Know Yourself, he speaks about that. It's the way Jews and non-Jews deal with healing is, and the body and self-help is different because we have a soul. And if you know the power of the soul, it's not always the same approach.
So you don't listen to like Jordan Peterson or anything?
No, you can listen to certain things, but you have to see how it's reflected in Torah. If it's true according to Torah,
Robert Kiyosaki.
it's like David Goggins, right? The toughest guy in the world. So he's great, he's incredible, and a lot of things, but he doesn't follow Shomer and Nafshotechem, right? Like meaning guarding your body. He will continue run after with broken legs or broken feet and he put tape and all that. That's not the Jewish way. We're not here to destroy our body. You have to take care of it. So some of it is great. Everything is the mind over matter. Whatever I say here, that's what's going to happen. Even my body is breaking. And Judaism would say, no, the body and the soul are like husband and wife, and I have to treat my body with love, with care, self-care, and same with my soul. So I have to make sure that I don't go extreme.
What about like the mystical self of like Joe Dispenza and all
Yeah.
this? Are you allowed to like read that, or
Yeah,
that's not really Jewish?
No, well, you understand. All the true wisdom, the true chokhmah in the Goim comes from the Torah. That's the whole message of the menorah. This is preparation for Hanukkah. All the branches that come out are what? Mathematics, astronomy, natural sciences, music. They come from the
You know
Torah.
what I'm saying? If you practice like those type of meditations and spirituality, why not do the Jewish? I don't know. Like,
Yes, because sometimes you can find it in Judaism, but sometimes it's not. It's like, why do you need the non-Jews if you have the Jews?
Why should I meditate with Joe Dispenza if I can meditate?
Absolutely. No, yes, I agree. It's just Joe Dispenza might give you tools that will facilitate your Jewish connection with God. But technically, we have everything in the Torah. Technically, you have everything in the Torah. It's just, remember, all the branches and the light of the candles, right, from the menorah, they all point out towards the middle. They're only here to bring more light to the Torah itself, right? So that's the Ibn Ezra in Soda Torah, the secrets of the Torah. He explains that a true Talmid Chacham, you cannot really understand fully Judaism if you don't, and the Talmud, if you don't know astronomy, mathematics, geometry. I forgot the other thing that he says, but he's not the only one who holds like that. The Vilna Gaon says he used to have to teach to his students to learn certain sciences. You say you should learn physics, you should learn astronomy, you should learn things, because we're supposed to express the Torah through those sciences also. Remember, yesh chokhmah bagoim. Yesh chokhmah bagoim, says the Gemara. Ein Torah bagoim. Yesh chokhmah bagoim. So goim have chokhmah, and we can recognize it and use it, but we're not allowed to learn Torah from non-Jews because they don't really have the Mesorah. Okay, then let's finish. $1 billion opportunity. What would you do if you had $1 billion? Okay, $1 billion, because that's going to be your aspiration. Most of us at the beginning, we think, oh yeah, I'll get a yacht and then I buy my private island. Okay, that's all, or like I'm gonna buy a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and have 20 dogs and whatever. This is very nice, but it's all completely selfish, right? And you ask people, what we do with this? The first thing they think of, most people, is of themselves. If you have $1 billion, what are you going to do to change the world, right? How come, with the people who are billionaires, right, in the world, there are people who are Bill Gates. How come they still hunger in Africa or America, in any country, if you have a guy like Bill Gates? Where do you put your money? Stop the hunger in a country if you have a lot of money. Isn't that like something very powerful? About all the homeless? Nobody in your city or in your country lives in the streets. Now, that's a major thing. You have the money for it, but somehow it goes in research, trying to go to the moon when people are dying on the streets. Like, what? I never understood. Save the whales. Oh, but your neighbor, he's on the street dying. You save the whale before your friend on the street. I don't understand. We spend millions of money for the animals. Can you start first the human beings, right? And if we learn to care with each other, then the animals will be better off.
To be fair, Bill Gates does kind of like try to make vaccines. And
No, I'm not saying he does.
But I feel like he's like a little like that's conspiracy.
I don't know. For me, I don't understand with the amount of rich. There's not the 3/4 of the money in the world belongs to like 1% of the population, right? And if those people were sharing their money in a smart way, like they're trying to do for global warming, if they will use all their money to bring, to remove hunger and homelessness and sicknesses or whatever in the world, they could do it. Okay. So think, if I had $1 billion, what would I do? Maybe you will open shelters for homeless, or maybe you will open, soup kitchens for all of America, or maybe you would create, I don't know, rehabs, free rehabs. You know how many people die because they can't afford a rehab? Free rehabs, whatever, stuff like that.
I know what I would do if I had $1 billion.
What?
So much. I would create like a yeshiva for people like us. I'd create like a yeshiva and seminary for like self-development, but like very hands-on.
Yes.
Like
Teaching
personal.
real estate.
No, like in yeshiva you just go and you learn
It's
Gemara.
not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the way yeshiva is supposed to be, like in yeshiva you just go and you learn Gemara. And you go to you go to davening, you go to night center, you go to Musar Seder. You know what? Each individual guy is not being developed to his potential. They're not being guided to his potential. So imagine if like we took that bacher and we said, okay, you're gonna train in these types of traits. You're gonna train in this type of business.
Yes.
You're gonna train in this type of
career-wise.
Yeah, you're gonna become a rock star in who you are.
Absolutely. That would be amazing. And you will do a yeshiva like my Rebbe's grandfather, Rabbi Yitzhak Ruderman, that's how. So the one who created Ner Israel in Baltimore. So he is yeshiva Ner Israel. The way Ner Israel was at the beginning. All the Rabbanim that he chose for yeshiva, their hashkafa was completely opposite most of the time. They were, each Rebbe sometimes hated the hashkafa of the other at the beginning. No, yeah. Right. So they all have very different hashkafa so that each student will feel connected to one specific hashkafa, because we're not meant to all agree together. There's Beis Shammai and there's Hillel, and there's people who are more for Esav and Yaakov, right? So they.
You hear this?
But so
All the Rebbeim are still there
No,
now.
nothing to do. No, nothing to do with people now. That's just the first year, the first few years when at the end the first
Not
rabbi.
there right now.
No, they're all gone. No, it's the first rabbis.
Was even a rabbi there?
Well,
My
now
red-
the place,
no,
now
as
the
a
place,
kid.
now the place is very uniform.
Yeah, now.
Yeah. No. Now it's uniform. That's the problem. There's tremendous good things. And I'm speaking about the yeshivas in general. And most yeshivas are all uniform. I mean, you have the Brisker way, and you
It's
have
always
the
been like that. Even for us, that's the whole point. It was
not in Israel at the beginning. But you need someone like Rabbi Ruderman to do something like that. You have to be a gadol to be able to do things. It's
Yeah, imagine we open up a yeshiva, we have like a Chabadska, we have a Litzvah. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna create it. Watch me create it.
Listen, when Moshiach is gonna come, which yeshiva are you gonna go to? Shiva Moshiach, you learn about everything, everybody, but I know. It's gonna be interesting.
Joe, that's invitation.
Yeah. What are you gonna be going to this year?
She's also in best if she be in your yeshiva. And only yeshiva for women, like for those who wants to learn and so something specific. Okay, let's finish. Biography. Make a biography of your life. Find out. Make a list of all the traumas since you're a kid. First trauma is being born. Okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. The first trauma in the world is being born. It's being disconnected from the spiritual world and be put in your body, in this world. And so you have the trauma of forgetting everything, the trauma of going from a soul in the spiritual world to a physical body, goof, and from being disconnected from your mother with the umbilical cord. And then you have the trauma of sometimes neglect. You were not loved or hugged enough, or you were not breastfed. You're not. Your brothers were bullying you, or whatever, stuff like that. All the things through life, and then these obviously there's abuse, and sometimes these all types of stuff. and make a list of all the traumas and try to understand who you became, what resilience you got because of those, how those traumas transform you in who you are now. All this is, again, there's no coincidence. Everything that happens is part of a special plan to become who you are now and to transform into someone stronger and very powerful. Remember, the people who have suffered the most in the world, although we're not asking for it, but the people who have suffered the most in the world are always the greatest heroes at the end. They always have achieved the highest level in almost any domain. So suffering is not, or traumas is not, and it doesn't prevent you from achieving happiness. It's a real strong and difficult bump on the road, but it's part of your journey to become your greater self. Sometimes is to fix something, sometimes it's to push you to become greater than other things. People who are the best one to help in rehab, the people who have been in rehab themselves.
The best
Addicted.
code, what are they? The spies, the ones that
Yeah, the FBI, when they catch hackers, they use them to help.
Oh,
catch
right,
hackers.
exactly. The hackers are used for the FBI, right? So
that movie Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, oh, criminals, the best.
That's why they never go to jail.
Alright, so all that, and then that's the negative thing, and you have to try to see how you can heal. The best is to go with a therapist. Hint, no. But you go through your life and try to heal each one of the traumas. Sometimes it's a simple trauma. Sometimes it's just one day. I know, for example, one trauma I had. I was, I think, 10 years old. Something. I was traveling from, or 12. I was traveling from France to Germany because my father lived there. So my parents are divorced. That's also a trauma. So I mean, when I was going to my father and I was traveling alone because I was doing that every holiday basically. And I had a black and an Arab kid, a little bit older than me, mugged me in the train, with a knife. And I had to give them, whatever I had, and till this day, when I think of it, like I have anger as if it had happened yesterday. It's so if you don't deal with the trauma, you don't heal it. It stays in you, in your body. Your body stores this pain, it stores those emotions, it stores this energy, and we need to learn to release it. So you make a list of all those traumas, and then make a list of all the greatest moments of your life. What are the all greatest moments? The moment you were bar mitzvah, the moment the moment that you loved someone for the first time, right? The moment you went to Israel for the first time. I know, whatever it is, experience that you had. You met a tzaddik. You met Rabbi G. No, not just kidding. But you the first time you tasted sushi. I don't know, something that is very powerful that made a change in your life, or. And also writing all the major, try to understand why you are the way you are. Why do I love mathematics? Because I had the greatest math teacher. Why do I love science? Or why do I hate science? Because my science teacher was terrible. It's just, we had so much work. Why do you like what you like? Why you love what you love? Why do you hate what you hate? And number one on the top is my parents. What did I take from my mother that is good? What did I take that is bad? What did I take from my father that is good? What did I take from my father that is bad? Because you're supposed to filter everything so you become the better version of your parents.
What if you feel like you didn't take anything good from one side?
Like a combination of all the
Don't,
cats.
it's live, don't reveal anything. But
I feel like I didn't take anything good from one side.
there must have been one. There's always Nachman of Bresov says
Polar opposites.
that's true. Me and my wife, we are extreme opposite. There's always one thing. Maybe it created balance, or for you to have clarity of what's really good or bad. But I know there's always one thing. Every human being has one thing that you won't have. I mean, one of the way to love every human being is to see that person does something good that you never do, or that you barely do well. Everybody has the pintul sheli, right? There's Nachman Bresov, that one little thing. So you have to be able to see that in everyone. So I'm sure there's one thing that you can learn from both sides, at least. And then talents, write your top 10 talents. Okay, this Jews Got Talent. After America's Got Talent, Jews Got Talent. top 10 talents. Those are your weapons, so to speak, or what you can use. The 7 intelligence you have, it means, I know it's from really. I'll post it. It
What
is
if you
7.
have any of them?
No, you have 7 intelligence. It's corporal. It's a physiological, meaning if you're good at sport, so that's one of the 7 sciences, or 7 intelligence. Meaning they naturally adapt to any domain situation. Some people, they are going to be very intellectual. Some people are going to be very emotional intelligence. Right, they can relate to anyone. So the 7 intelligence, right, really gives the 7 intelligence. I don't know them by heart, but it's in my book. You gotta buy the book. Yeah, I couldn't print because it's actually priced at $15 or each print. So if you want, I can send it PDF for free, or you can give a donation. I'm not a Kabbalist. I can print it and send it to you. On the mail or when I come here. So. And finally, what's your favorite color, and to what sphere it corresponds to? Everybody has a favorite color, right? And that color has to do a lot with every color correspond to an energy. There's the 10 spherot, so 10 colors basically. There are different opinions what color is what, but usually, let's say if you love red, it has to do with the planet Mars. It has to do with blood, but it has to do with judgment, but it has to do also with a bit with royalty. Right? Yeah.
Royalty?
Blue is usually chesed, din, right? Royalty is more black, but red is from the left side. It's also Hod, grace. What?
What did you say? It's also what?
Hod, the sphere of Hod has a bit of red also. Malchus has all the colors combined. Sometimes it's called black or all colors.
Oh, so I like all the colors.
Blue is usually chesed, right?
So if I like all the colors on a queen.
It's more connected to the Malchus is Esther.
Esther Mom.
Yeah. No, it's all connected. You're gonna see when you learn to put all the pieces together. You're gonna see, like you look at in the mirror and say, "Wow, this is why you have." And you understand yourself better. And then when you go in the world, life, it's
But which sphere is blue though?
blue is usually chesed. Right, chesed.
Yeah, it's not your color.
It's what?
You're right.
Brown. Brown. All the leaves are brown.
Brown is orange, dark orange, so it's more orange.
Brown.
No?
Well, Netzach is more green. So it's brown is also connected to Malchus a lot. So I would say it's a mix between Netzach, Hod, and Malchus. I think it's more connected to royalty. I'll look more into it. I'll try to find out.
Could black or white be a color?
Yeah, white is more connected to very intellectual purity, spirituality, and so your favorite color is gonna say a lot. My favorite color is yellow. Now, the reason I don't wear yellow is because my wife forbade it. But when I'm on vacation, I don't have to dress always black and white, right? So I put a yellow shirt, or when my wife doesn't move, I put a white shirt. But I love yellow. When I put yellow, I feel like on fire. I mean, fire sign, yellow, the sun stuff.
Does a favorite color have anything to do with like color of like your aura?
Yeah. It has to do with your aura, energy.
Somebody was like, I was by a camping trip and some like Hasidic guy is like, I can tell you your aura. I'm like, okay, what's my aura? He's like, okay, give me a second. Tells me I'm yellow. Tells me I'm a yellow aura.
It's Alaska people, it's fine.
Okay.
They're shiny and glow.
The aura has many different colors. It brings
It
different.
happens to be on microdose on mega little mushrooms. She's
No,
like, that's probably why.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. That means you might have a change in personality. Purple is usually Techeres. It's usually connected to or Keser or Malchus.
Wait, what's yellow?
Malchus is royalty. It's dignity, royalty, humility.
Okay, what's red, brother?
Red is usually judgment. Is din. It's gvura, strength. Kovesh is the power to control. and strength and the judgment. It's good. Justice. Purple, yeah, they're all good. They all have good and always it goes fast. But yeah, they're all good. It's a potential energy. Then it can. Din is very good. If you don't have Din in the world, then evil takes over. So you need do you feel different when you wear them? Usually, why do you think people wear black when they go to a cemetery? Meaning, this morning is taking off any color. The world is a world of color. Hashem made the world of color on purpose. You know, the one reason we wear black and white, the Frumis, is because it has to do with Galus. But the truth is, that's mostly the Ashkenaz. The Sephardim, they were very colorful. It's important to be able to feel not locked up. Sometimes when you just one color, you feel locked up. And colorful, when you put your color, you feel different. If I put yellow, you see me jumping like a.
Yeah, but when I see blue, like I get like happy.
Yeah, but that's why it will make you more happy to wear a certain color. Because it allows you to be in your elements, so to speak, in your color. It's very.
So
yeah.
So let's say your favorite color is blue and it's chesed. Does that mean you're like blue chesed or you should be chesed?
Yes, I mean your energy is much more chesed oriented, and that your for you to be fully in harmony with the world is to be focused on giving. All right, everyone. I know it was long, a lot of things, but hopefully you know a little bit more about yourself, or you find out a little bit more about yourself, and God willing, we shall all be able to fulfill our full potential in this lifetime. Amen. Before Moshiach. Thank you everybody for joining.